Alrighty, hello, hello, hello. We're live. Welcome to the stream. I am just checking things out. My avatar has been, while I was setting up this one, has been a little odd acting for me, but it seems to have stabilized. Like I can do all my expressions. Okay, there we go. Eyebrows are working, yes. Alrighty. So, back to Beacon Pines. Oh, need to close off the music first. Oh. Hopefully with no interruptions caused by my stomach. Head to the treehouse with Rolo. Okay. Time to see where the branching stories go, indeed. So apparently, like, I should be... which route are we on? This is the route that has us with... No, this is the one where we, kind of had our argument with Rolo because we went... Wait, I'm trying to remember. So, this is the one we didn't... Okay, we're on this branching path, I believe. Because we went... This is the one where... This is the path where we went to the warehouse alone. Then hung out with Beck, but, we then stayed late at Beck's and had our deep talk about our complaints with life, shouting at the storm, being angry at the universe. But then Rolo was upset because we didn't hang out with him, which led to us spending most of the previous day in the... just in our bedroom. Okay. Part of me is wondering, like, how much of the game I do have left. Because when I looked up on how long to beat, it said about 5.5 hours. Which I think leaves me with only, like... Apparently I should only have half an hour left of this game. But... One, I kind of don't want that to happen, because I want more of this game. But also, I'm looking at the tree, and... It looks like it can go much higher. Anyway, so we are going to the treehouse. Don't need to talk to the clipboards. I've got my balloons. We're not chatting to anyone? Nope. Oh, I can say hello to you. Oh, no, that's just reading the sign. Hello. Oh yeah, we'd read about this. The... Oh, hold up. Can I do the fishing minigame again? Do I have any new ones? No, I do not.
Good first.
Alrighty. Off we go to our treehouse. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rolo handed Luka an unopened letter.
Oh? I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luka, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand.
Is this from his grandmother herself, or is this just her grandmother, like, was holding it on behalf of someone?
If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much.
Try to understand why I'm committed. Yeah.
We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried. Everything I've done. I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
Gran? I love you too, Gran.
Luka folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
Oh, we're gonna hear an explosion. Sounds like she didn't try very hard to find another meth. What? That's the thing, I still don't know why. Like, I don't know the motivation, I don't know what she's actually trying to do. What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whenever you want. Just chilling in the treehouse. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but we'd been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Rolo...
Luka was at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
I like this. I like these friends. The festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue.
Oh, no, yep.
A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Huh? What was that? Oh man, we missed the fireworks.
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
Oh boy, how bad? What the? Huh?
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill.
That was not what I was
Before they
expecting.
could react, it encased them in ice.
Flash freeze? Does this have something to do with the dream Luka had? Where he saw, like, the town was burning, but it was burning in ice?
Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene, in a silent treehouse turned statuary. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together. For the rest of time. The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either.
Yeah, I want more.
Endings. More possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
Okay. Well, we've explored this one a bit. I kind of hoped that one would lead to something, because I felt we got some really cute scenes with, like, the conversation between Beck and Luka, and then the, like, just the friendship between Rolo and Luka. I kind of, I wanted that to be the happy ending. But I guess let's go over to this route again. So this is the one where we both went to the park. It's vaguely reminded me of the anime Princess Tutu. I don't know if that's one I'm familiar with. Okay, yeah, this is where the clipboards are being weird. Well, time to run away.
Drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches.
Oh, making ourselves a little zipline, I think.
He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
How? I can't believe that worked. So yeah, this is the one where Luka and Rolo went together to the place. We found we had the dead body thrown on top of us, found a dismembered arm. Rolo's being kidnapped. We met with Beck while searching for Rolo. Iggy fell into the puddle and got mutated. And yeah, the clipboards are after Iggy, I think, because he's mutated. Hey, Mr. Care. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way. This way. We'll take the tunnels. Oh.
Luka and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luka stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back.
Oh no.
The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice.
Is it as hard as ice because it is ice?
In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luka's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luka pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
Hello. It is. That was actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost him. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. What's up with the Winter Wonderland? Yeah, this is odd. Like, I know they said it was cold, but it didn't look cold enough to be snowy. Recommended by a friend. Oh, it's inspiration behind Joran. Did not know that. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. This looks like the same area where Gran's house is, though. Luka! Luka, are you there?
Luka had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
Oh, wait, it was Care on the other end? I thought it was Rolo. Is that bozo Care? I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luka looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luka responded.
Seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. Ah, he speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Oh boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mum sure was a handful. Oh.
Winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
Is Care the reason why Mum is missing? Oh, we gotta keep moving. Wait. No, I think, is this where this is where Dad, I think this is the location where Dad's grave is. And this, wait, no, is this where? No. No, I think I was right the first time. This is where the Mum's house, where Gran's house is? Yeah. Okay, so there's another Beacon Pines. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. It's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Care? Still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge into equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. Okay. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into Weepwood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. Remove the snow with more snow. I don't know if this will work, but... Oh, it does. Yep.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? We figured this out, Nathan. Yeah. I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought up before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Oh, into town. Ooh, no Perennial Harvest building.
The fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
Ooh. Looks like the stuff they put up around Wheatwood. The stuff who put up? I don't know. I do like the snow sound. It's like the nice crunchy snow. It's all frozen.
Down at the frozen stream, Luka could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Oh, the cryogenically frozen fish. Whatever happened here, it happened fast. Fish didn't even have time to run. Or, you know, swim run. Okay, so yeah, that would make sense though. Like, if it's the same thing that happened to in that last route, it does happen quickly.
The footsteps trailing Luka went hush. He looked back to
Nope.
see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't gonna save the day. We aren't even gonna save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's going to be okay.
Luka peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luka a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luka allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Don't fall asleep in the snow! Let's just rest for a bit.
Huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
At least get inside a building. Oh no. The way the snow covered everything over. It's kinda calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sorta froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. And this all happened because I lost my temper. Ah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. And second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. That's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course! Jeez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rolo are always having a blast together. laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
He now wept openly.
Oh. Perfect little Luka Van Horn. His perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Well, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
Oh. I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know? Yeah, I always feel like Tish doesn't seem to be particularly eloquent. I think... Yup. That's all we've heard from Tish.
Luka gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
It must be raining out here. Definitely.
Arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow, we'll get to the bottom of all this.
Luka's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
No, don't fall asleep in the snow! Luka? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. Having Tish at this point just... I feel it would kind of ruin the moment if anyone showed up. The whole idea is that we're alone. You know what?
That's all Luka could whisper before succumbing to sleep.
Oh.
He snuggled in some more.
When it comes to worst days in my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luka was
Oh, another
playing
dream.
blocks on the living room rug.
Luka's dreams always concern me.
He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song.
Okay, right. This is just like her father's lying down with his head in his wife's lap. It's not... Because given how weird some of Luka's dreams are, part of me was kind of concerned. Like, it's not like a decapitated... His father's head is still attached to his body, right?
A voice behind Luka spoke. This is how you remember them, huh? Luka turned to see his own face.
Oh. Future Luka again.
Doppelganger from his dreams. Still clad in a yellow hazmat suit.
Still clad?
Still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes.
What do you mean still clad? Because the last dream we had was in a different timeline. Oh, gotta leave for a bit. Oh, hope your appointment goes well, Minnie. Unless there's something more going on here. Is the game more meta than I think?
Aw, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Luka snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive.
Oh.
The day he chose to abandon us. Luka turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch.
Oh no.
That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed.
Oh.
Luka was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luka's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luka heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luka gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luka's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this.
Ooh.
Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luka flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs.
Okay, so his dad knew something was going on with Valentine.
Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luka, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luka descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luka eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luka placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luka's ears. Listen to me, Luka. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luka hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.
Didn't come back. Oh. Hello.
A figure approached soundlessly from
Who are
Bobby's
you?
snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation.
I don't think I recognize
Slowly
you.
raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me!
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luka looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me, you...
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-hatted, scarfy-necked, furball. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. Maybe. They're not making me trust you anymore. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait, do you live here? You might say that. So, you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gonna help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luka, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here, one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough of the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well. I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luka and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Oh. Okay. Open them.
For a brief, Luka and
Oh,
Iggy let
oops.
themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold. until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place.
It feels a little more grey.
Cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood. Or we teleported to some alternate universe. Or this is all just some cruel experiment by Care and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. Oh. Oh. So the Beacon Pines we exist in is not real? You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. Oh, wait, wasn't there something that Perennial Harvest kind of like had everyone leave Beacon Pines for like several weeks? When they moved us back, did they move us back somewhere else? But a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. They have an army of clones. Oh, is that the tell us your thoughts thing? Like, trying to just analyze the people here? As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to the miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luka and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover...
Narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
the source. Why do you say the source like that? Why indeed?
Luka began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they could...
He looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home...
He sprinted off into the pale distance.
Oh.
As he turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west, through Weepwood.
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived.
Okay, so we don't know anything about who Nat is.
Given Luka and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luka sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rolo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The Clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to Perennial Harvest.
Yeah, Perennial Harvest definitely seems like there's something up
But
with
right
them.
now, there was one thing that Luka needed to know. Luka stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly in the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard. A headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luka's lips.
You're here? All this time I was visiting you, but you've been here, alone, in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. You ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luka's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
Oh no. We've been cornered. We gotta hide. Oh. 259K. Fall off distance, still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who loved him will never know the truth. Yeah, the truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey, don't be such a downer, dude. We took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Weirdo. Here I thought I was a jerk. These dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Stuttered through heaving sobs.
Thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Gave Luka a solid smack on the back of his head.
Bonk. Hey! Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow, crying like some pushover. Who are you helping? Hey, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luka Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Karen and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off this switcheroo for a reason, right? Not mentioned something about a source.
Luka wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source must be awfully valuable to Perennial Harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And what if it's too big to smash?
He flashed a mischievous smile and
Oh no.
his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. Locate the source. Okay. It can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luka. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rolo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
He and Luka shared a skeptical look.
Yeah, I was like, not sure I'd put it past you. Well, do I? Oh, shucks, now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Oh yeah, I can't keep the snowball. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind
Oh.
a large pine and began digging.
Oh, had he
furiously.
buried treasure
He
somewhere?
emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
Oh. What's that? Long story. So, a few years back, I, came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. So, why did you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rolo were doing chores at Rolo's chicken coop, and you guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luka rolled his eyes with realization.
No, You
He
didn't.
stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Rolo got grounded for months. Which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under that tree. But when I came back for him later, they were gone. Ooh, that's just maybe... Sorry, something else has just clicked with me. That's maybe why harvests aren't as good. They replicated the town, but the soil quality quite possibly would be different. And I figured some grown-up found him and tossed him.
He triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out, it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Oh, well, we've got explosives. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who's in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I was also always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Oh, is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast-off, loser. Oh. The well. Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place. Ooh. Oops. I got a new... I can't explore any more of the town. I know that's clearly where I'm supposed to go, but I'm also kind of... I just wondered, did that unlock any new story? Nope, nothing new there. First time we've heard Primo said like that?
Luka and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo! 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 Whoa. I can see why they wanted to move us all out of town now. But why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. Oh, it's official? You have... Primo? Oh, it's one of those words I sometimes just pronounce oddly now, depending on how it is. Oh. I don't know if it's something I should say congratulations for, Money, but... Glad to hear that you've... It's official. Ooh. Hopefully now you'll be able to see about... if, like, the possibility of medication or something will be something that actually helps you out with it. Psychiatrist, alright. This works, your system works quick. Like, it's one of the things that I hear people... I see, yeah, I wait years for this kind of thing. I mean, it's one of the things I know, like, there's problems with, and I hear a lot of people complaining about the US healthcare system. But compared to the NHS system we have here in the UK, your system definitely seems to... Things get solved with on a much shorter time scale. This is the source. It's a dang hole. How do we smash a hole? Oh. Hello. Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Care. Where's Rolo? I wasn't lying before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two at least. Drats, it's cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source, where they collect the unrefined,
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh, heavens no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Oh, you're like just the face of the organization. Complications like us? You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you are destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime, and you happen to be extras, ready for your curtain call. We aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not going to be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a little bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. Oh no. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luka with a sly glance.
Oh. Why are you smirking? Because I have a box full of fireworks, and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down.
Iggy, I feel that might be a bad idea. Stop. Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you. Regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. That's fair enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons.
After a long pause,
Ooh.
Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You all can head back for tonight. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. You can put that down. What, like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
The only one thing that took forever was you actually... Yeah, I do remember you kept... There were various occasions where you brought up how you kept forgetting to make the calls. But yeah, Iggy, I'm not sure we should be... Oh, the look on his face. Whoa.
Growl, Kerr leapt
Oh.
at Iggy, crashing through Luka.
Oh, up.
Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side.
Save Iggy.
Dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child. What have you done? Luka, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. How, what channel do I use? It doesn't make a damn difference. They're always listening. If you do that, the Clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Care's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Care, you've had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. You should have heard me sing the part of Phyllis Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Wow, can you believe this guy? Oh.
Luka's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Care, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Look at me. It's okay.
He felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You aren't going to kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luka's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just a no-good bully. Like you, Care. Iggy? The music.
Luka felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. 2 birds with 1 stone. Makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
Calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luka, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Oh. That's, I don't... Oh, refusing, like, that's... Bringing Care back up, like, is gonna... It's just gonna get both Iggy and Luka in trouble. I don't... He's kind of... Like, he's redeemed himself. Like, he has kind of shown that there's more to him. Why did redemption have to come like this?
Luka had no choice but to accept Iggy's request. With a quiet blink, Luka watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
There's more to him, but he knows he was an asshole. But that's the thing, like, he knows now, he can... Things could have been better. Good.
The 2 silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Fireworks. I'll have a goodbye, Iggy. Luka, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Oh no. Huh? Curious. But of course, those fireworks of Iggy must have been just the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before Perennial Harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempest liquamine is a peculiar substance. It can change the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So, the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
Yeah, I think we do. That must have been what happened when Gran detonated the well. I wonder if that's what they were talking... Was Gran talking about this well? Yeah, one of the guys had to keep an eye out for a cascade. So I wonder if, like, that's why, like, Gran didn't feel the need to, like, tell us to stay away from the well in town, because they were talking about this well. And maybe they thought they could safely seal it, like, just how Iggy did, but they overestimated how much they needed. It will take them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been. In my way. Each one of us has our role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You? Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luka Van Horn, you are going to save the world. Ooh.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luka followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
What?
Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm?
To charm?
Wait, that's it? This ends with a cliffhanger just when it was getting going.
Okay. The story is kind of like, nah, this is like getting too serious for the kind of story we're trying to tell.
I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Okay. Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. What does happen? Wait, is refusing the right choice then? Or is this a dead end either way? You like the style of the actual book art? Yeah, the art in general in this game I really like.
Luka had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luka with his eyes one last time, but Luka pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder.
The founder?
Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luka. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end.
Okay, so that is both are dead ends.
This was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
Okay. So the only option we have now is... Well, refusing and accepting both got us to a dead end. So I guess it's back to... So this is the one where, yeah, we went alone. And we... Acceptance was a tad... Yeah, it was a tad better. So yeah, this is where... Okay. You're not allowed to deny Iggy his redemption arc. Okay, so, right. Need to try and remember the course of events that led to this decision. We went to the warehouse alone. We then met Beck. And Beck went with us to the treehouse to meet Rolo. And then we ended up at Gran's and found a hidden basement. And now we're interrogating The guy whose name I can't remember.
Good cop, hard cop. Rolo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times.
Oh no, good cop, bad cop. Yep, not good cop, chill cop.
Rolo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery...
I don't know if I can do a blustery drawl. Well, Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained...
That's not a
motionless.
swaggered.
Rolo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luka gave each other an unsure glance. Rolo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face.
Oh.
Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
His chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who? Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light.
Ooh.
In a gruff tone, Rolo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. No, hold on. Let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a... I can't do this voice. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're
The
sweating.
doubtful expression on Beck and Luka's faces transformed into awe.
We could do this my way, or... Well, let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rolo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance! What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You've tied me down. How on earth can I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran. Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
I'm gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good lord.
Shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Aha, the source. So it is the other well. Source? Where's the source? It's where
His voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation
With
Sparkplug?
that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold.
We bullied him so hard. Didn't he?
Rolo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rolo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. That tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library? If there's any information about the source thing, Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. Oh, and right there. Hey, Kato. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. Aren't you a little too adorable to be a librarian? Adorable. Okay, is adorable an option anywhere else? I have to check these things. Nope. Oh, Kato hung out here so much, eventually they gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Ms. Novak sometimes. They got you working for free. It's quiet, and I get to access all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for you all? We need a favor. I already told you and Rolo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next Hank Atomic. And if you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be brought. Called a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing. We sorta don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the country record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading, but they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there. Ooh.
Chapter 8, 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luka tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pump. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of these asinine death records. Rolo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life, till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rolo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal, and it won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you into obituaries myself.
Rolo muttered under his breath.
You're a country record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey, we're all a little tired here. Let's just take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luka's mind.
Hartford? Yeah, we have heard that name before. Oh, was that the previous, like, deep engineering guy? Wait, what was that name, Beck? In the obit? J. Hartford. From the Brookville Tribune, 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. Oh, no. That's my grand's name. Juniper Hartford. Maybe there were 2 J. Hartfords? Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter E. Hartford. My mum's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your gran is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with? Oh, I had thought before, I had wondered before, like, is Gran actually Gran?
The question hung in the air.
Alright, gang, I gotta close up for tonight.
Rubbed her.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something. Okay, is he still unconscious?
Luka's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luka shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering.
Alrighty. Oh, grandmother's home.
He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Are we sure we shouldn't? Gran? Sound asleep from the looks of it. It's still, the basement passage is still open. Nope. Yep, he's gone. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace.
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luka's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Ooh. Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luka rushed over to the pile of jam jars, screwed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be
He
delayed.
flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed? Okay, now I can think. So if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Except we've eaten some jam. Which, Gran is going to notice, I imagine. Oh. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luka climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened.
Oh, what was in that jam?
Falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luka groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The jam? Yeah, the jam ain't good. Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Oh no. Rest now. Let me handle everything. Apparently Jojo's gonna be taken care of. Yeah. Just give him the paralysis jam.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches.
Chapter 9, I feel like, is the furthest chapter we've gotten to.
Find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him?
Gran didn't drug him.
Or rather,
Yeah,
why was she
that's the
trying to
question.
drug Mr. Nuncreed?
Oh yeah, because Mr. Nuncreed works for the bad guys.
Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luka snapped back to the matter at hand.
Okay, we can move again. The festival! Dude, I'm still curious. We haven't gotten to see what's in these rooms. We never found a key for that place, and Luka doesn't want to go into his parents' room. Is Gran... She's left the basement open again. What happens if I go into the basement? I feel that's a bad idea. But I'm curious. Nope, nothing to do. Alrighty. The fake grave. Dad is no longer here. Nope. Hey, friends. Where have you been? Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. This one, the one intended for Mr. Nuncreed? Put me to sleep. Whoa, ho, ho. Sly devil. Oh, slide the picture. Is that useful anywhere? Oh, Sly Cop. I wonder if that's Beck taking care of the interrogation, because the chill cop was Luka. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around, but haven't seen anything odd. Your gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving. Oh.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and... I suppose you already know that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. There we go. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was I?
Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Oh, cares. Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. Just get off the stage before you make things worse. What a great turnout. Oh, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Didn't prepare anything, eh? Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am daggum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip, which brought me to a small town, which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. In what way? You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. Oh. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Oh, don't worry. A little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain
Kerr
calm.
quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. Colors are starting to lose their vibrancy. And so, it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim,
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
our harvest awaits! Okay, the cascade still happens.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. on a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end.
Well,
Is that ice again? Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything. Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again.
that's not happening.
No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again, please.
Okay, so we have Sly Cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation.
Alrighty.
Luka and Rolo ducked behind a barrel.
Okay, yeah,
and
so
did
yeah,
their
this is
task.
Beck's time to shine.
With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
What's going on here? You're that Modwell girl. Please, call me Beck. Sorry about all this.
Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
Seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. Oh, but she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never know who to trust in this
Mr.
town.
Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So, it turns out we're both here to...
Twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the
Beck
evidence.
shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
She sure is. I can't blame her, though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
You're sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Oh, good. There's one more loose end I need to work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing really. The other day I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf. And wouldn't you know it, I intercepted an odd phrase in a Perennial Harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So, we have a password and know where to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs,
Ooh.
Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling.
I was
jaunty
worried
tune.
for a moment. You guys catch that? Sure did. Now, this whole time Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf? But all he ever sells is his apples! Oh, that's horrible.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rolo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it
Beck
seems.
marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried, covered... Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those, each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21, N would be 14, D would be... Oh! It's an anagram! Nuncreed's drugstore.
Luka and Beck looked at Rolo.
You just... Rolo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's new drugstore. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. He deserves that, yeah. That was quick to figure out that. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Oh, off to investigate Mr. Nuncreed. Oh, hello, music. Oh. No visit to Dad. Oh, hello. Oh, you're one of the conspirators as well. You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tolliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear, that man would be late to his own funeral. The keyboard keeps... Aw, poor Nam and your keyboard. Okay, let me... I kind of want to do the fishing game again. Do I have any more? Ah, I do have one more.
Luka tied a bent nail onto the line. If all you have is a hammer...
Well... Can catch something new. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, hello. A picture? It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Let me see that. Look at those two young fools. How did it end up at the bottom of the pond? Who can say? Some things are just hard to explain. I miss Uncle Joseph. How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He's busy with his new job at Valentine's. What's a new job got to do with him fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. Oh, that's all of them. Well, that's quite a haul. Feels like a good time to pack up. Aw, just a little bit longer? If things lasted forever, they might not feel as special, huh? I guess. I'll make you a deal, buckaroo. If you ever feel like you need to talk about anything at all, you just say, let's go fishing, and I'll know what you mean. Like a secret password? Yep, top secret. Neat. Oh, but that does give me a feeling again that we're close to the end. Okay, so what's going on at Oh, hello. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh? What do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about? I think
looked around nervously.
Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing you as mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damned backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change, whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be part of that future, or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus. But you will always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. Oh. It's getting late, children. Alrighty. I don't think I can go to the restaurant. Oh, is it open? No, the lights are on. There's not many times we can actually visit the diner to play the minigame there. Knowledge, he spat with a sneer. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when the villain makes a good point. We'd better get to Nuncrete's. Alrighty. Nothing new down here. Oh, Solomon. Yeah, we learned last time that Solomon is like an adopted son of Eris because like that was like stipulated in her father's will that she had to adopt him in order to inherit.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncrete. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Where'd you get this candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on, licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice, but whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wondered why Mr. Nuncrete kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. Oh, excuse me. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold hard cash. Oh. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. The phone booth. Okay, let's see. And I go directly to the phone booth. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncrete? No. Ooh.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Kren's new drugstore! I mean, underground secrets! The password!
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Alright, let's see here.
Luka cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great. Now what? I guess we... Ooh.
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing.
Here we go.
It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground.
Ooh.
The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
I knew it. You knew that there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luka, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the transdimensional conduits from Hankatomic issue 12 were real? Rolo, at one point or another, you've said that about every technology ever discussed in Hankatomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. Looks like each of these has something written on them. Where do these lead? This suit has a broken mask. Oh, that's the guy we punched. So, have we found our mystery warehouse creeper? We've at least found our hazmat suit. If it walks like a Nuncrete and talks like a Nuncrete, let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. Ooh. Oh, told your dad about you. Did it go well, Money? Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer. And a series of tubes. Always says, you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold. I'm not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa. You don't always realize what he means until it's too late. About Sos. Yeah, I know if sometimes it can take a moment to... First reaction was right. Yeah, I know Meta kind of had some friction with his parents when he first got his diagnosis. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. And the middle one goes to... Well, if it has mining operations alpha, I'm assuming there's a beta. Nope. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mum works. What does she do? Science stuff. Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Oh. Terminal? That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rolo's hands hovered over the field.
Rolo? Eeny, meeny, miny. Rolo, what did you do? Nothing! I didn't even mow it yet! What was that? Hide? Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Now just get back. Hello, Mr. Nuncrete. Shit. 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 Awesome! You all need to come with me. Now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password. And they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now. I like my skin. This all stops now, Miss Nuncrete.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Wait. You don't get to talk about my... Oh, Walt. You don't get to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back before...
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
Joseph? Uncle Joseph? Was that kind of like an uncle as in like not a biological uncle, but just kind of a... like a cool friend of his dad's? Because it's possibly been established that Luka has an idealized memory of the past. He might have forgotten... Oh. Did your best to be non-com. Yeah, I kind of do understand that concern about medication because I have that concern about myself going on to medication. Because, yeah, it is designed to mess with your brain. Hopefully in a way that's positive, but it is... Yeah, I think it might just kind of, especially with like revelations like this, it might take a bit of time just to process it. To get to a point of acceptance. Yeah, try to assure him you'll keep an eye out for side effect. Yeah, that's always... Yeah, it's always a good idea with medication just to be ready, like, watch out for side effects. And if it doesn't seem to be having any effect at all, just stop. More negative effects when I go for it. Yeah. So I think the thing with ADHD medication in some ways, Nam, is that it's designed specifically to alter your brain chemicals. So even if it works as intended, it's designed to change someone's behavior, which can be... I get why some people aren't necessarily comfortable with it. It's kind of, if I'm using drugs to alter my behavior, is that still me making these choices? Yeah, I've best not to overthink it. I'm not sure if it really worked, but yeah, I think it might be as well, Mooney, just something that needs to be... He needs some time to kind of process it. Okay, back to the game. Strange. All of this. It's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. So yeah, so yeah, are you the uncle we saw spoken to in the fishing flashback? What happened? That's where with any drug, Joe. Well, I know it's like a potential concern with any drug, but not every drug is designed to alter behavior. Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So, you're a sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients, and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luka, I need you to notice. I need someone to notice. One day, Sharper Valentine comes to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He'd found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. My dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was... It's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and again. Classic sidekick ain't a villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he's still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
He took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this, but you forced my hand.
Luka began to laugh.
What? You really don't know? My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she...
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
Oh, how does she know? Apparently, she knows a lot of things. Yeah, so I'm not sure that's... Yeah, I'm just... your responses kind of confused me because I feel I feel either I'm missing your point or you're missing my point. Well, you haven't missed too much in terms of Beacon Pines, Mooney, I don't think. But the point I was just trying to say is, like, people don't have, like, you don't really have the same concern about drugs affecting you mentally when it comes to, like, say, paracetamol or ibuprofen. Because at least to the best of my knowledge, they aren't designed to affect you mentally. The purpose is pain relief. Or same with like antibiotics you can take. I'm not saying that there are non-ADHD drugs that are designed to do that. I'm just kind of ADHD medication is the example I'm using because that's relevant to the topic at hand. Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luka by the shoulders.
Oh.
His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. Probably not a good idea for using antibiotics. Yeah, well, I think like that's the case with antibiotics anyway, is like unless you really need them, you shouldn't take them. Because on top of you do need a level of healthy bacteria in your body, it also helps grow antibacterial resistance to medication. You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now! She's in danger, boy! I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in town square. Fountain? But why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? What the heck is the source? If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze and... Dear God, she's going to freeze us all! Oh. Okay. Yeah, sorry, that was the thing that was just confusing now, is that was never a point I was never disagreeing with that. I don't think me and Mooney are talking about addiction. We're just about, even if the medication working as intended could still be different. But yeah, the ADHD drugs are... Yeah, that was something I was saying to my gran earlier today, that if I get them, I'm going to have to get one of the little things she has for my granddad to, like, mark off, like, what days you've taken them. Because otherwise I'm almost certainly going to, like, end up at lunchtime kind of going, did I take what I needed to this morning? Oh, that's it. It could still be a while yet before I'm even on anything. You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. Oh. That did not go how I expected. So... we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. Oh. You good? Yep. I love this town.
Chapter 8: The Cold, Hard truth.
Ooh.
Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera, as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rolo's glee.
I've never heard that word before. Carom.
Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden,
Oh, back into the frozen.
In an instant, light blazed into view. A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
Oh. Oh, that's what that was. So this is mining site Alpha. That was intense. Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like it got on any of us. Didn't feel like we traveled that far. So where did it all go? This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We gotta catch up to Nuncrete. I think he went this way. Ooh. What if I go back to the... Okay, I can't investigate the grave. So back in the original Beacon Pines. And this looks... familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear off the snow. No time, Nuncrete's getting away. Oh, not this time, I guess. Wait, can I not? Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well-versed on all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of the town. Ah, I got it! It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncrete is an alien! Rolo, stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. What is it changing to? I'm not sure that... I'm not, like, I never said that I disagree with the idea of medication or anything. I'm just saying that I understand. I can sympathize with the concern people have about it affecting you. And I've never said that I don't think any drug can do this. I'm just kind of... When someone says, like, I'm going to be taking a drug to alter my behavior... Like, when it's a deliberate... That's the reason you're taking it. The source is there at Base Camp Dimension, so naturally they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through those metallic wormholes back there. Final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pine citizen of their choosing. You never really had me. You very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving. I can't go back there? Can I? Nope, I can't pick up the snow. Alrighty.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square, they spotted Mr. Nuncrete inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild.
I don't recall I ever said that it was just ADHD. I was just talking about in reference to ADHD medication. Like, I don't recall ever disagreeing that any drug can have negative effects on you. I was just saying that I'm not really talking about it in... What I've been trying to say this whole time is that ADHD medication is designed Like, the purpose of it is to alter behavior. It's not a side effect if it alters behavior. That is the intended purpose of it. And I know there are other drugs that are also supposed to do that. But it's just in the case that even if it works... Because no, I have the concern that even if the medication... If I do get onto medication, and even if it works as intended, like if it does alter my behavior... Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I feel at this point we're just talking past each other, because I'm not... I don't feel I'm disagreeing with anything you're saying, I'm just... Yeah, I think we've lost each other somewhere along the line. Well, we found him.
Luka recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss.
So how does one torch cause more damage than the whole bunch of fireworks we dropped down there?
Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out.
Oh.
She held a lit torch, which flickered in bitter wind.
Never mind. She dumped a whole wheelbarrow of explosives down there first. Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. Know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran? What's happening? Luka, you and your friends need to leave, right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Well, listen to your grandma, Luka. This is between me and Juniper.
Rolo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luka approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luka, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish.
Oh,
his voice hardened.
Are we going to learn what happened? That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. He just had different ideas about how to affect change. Very convenient that your wages happen to line your pockets. No, that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge.
Oh.
Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luka's mind
A choice?
with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
And in the stillness he began to... I feel crying would be the first response to have.
And in the stillness, he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luka whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luka for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This'll all make sense soon, Luka. Then everything can go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't!
Ignoring his final plea,
Oh.
Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation.
Okay, that was the wrong
The
choice.
torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
See, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to...
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence.
Oh. That's where the freeze comes.
Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luka. Her attempt to shield him in honor of unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror, there was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever.
The ice brings a close to things again. Yeah.
And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now,
Yep.
we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Fire and ice. Okay, yeah, this is what I feel at this point, like, no one here is disagreeing with anyone. I just think we're... I just feel somewhere along the lines there's been a loss in understanding what the other is intending. Before we actually go any further, I kind of want to see if I can find... If I can remember what the... where the point in the story is that we're allowed to go to the cafe to play that minigame again. Oh, was it? I think it was after we'd met Beck one of the times. I think, was it here?
This is a story about struggle. Luka could hear, he felt his hands, he yanked it free.
Okay, yeah, we have seen this part of the story before.
Chapter 3, everything's the next, only this.
Oh yeah, it was because we did the jam delivery, that was where we got to go there in the first place. Okay. The fishing one, it hasn't been too bad because... Oh. The fishing one kind of like, we go there fairly regularly in the story. But the diner's closed most of the time. Oh, there we go. Hello, Rolo. Okay, so yeah, that was... Alright. We've seen this discussion before. I know probably, like, there'll be another point in the story. Actually, at this point, I'm kind of wondering, like, would there be another point in the story where I can visit the diner? Because every other time we visited, it's always been closed. Okay.
Luka squinted at the faded memories of that day came flooding back.
Alright. Okay. This looks like we have definitely more choices here. Good afternoon, Mr. Tolliv. Oh, sorry, these allergies have been killing me. I haven't been able to smell a thing all day. I almost sold Mrs. Hatch a gallon of spoiled milk this morning. I got anything to help clear out these darn sinuses. Whatever it takes, I just want to be able to smell again. Radio, what burger do we have for... Pungent? Just... fish, is that fish and onion? Not right? I knew... Oh, of course, spicy food. Incendiary and... What's wrong? Well, I like the spicy peppers. Put on something there. Okay, so fish and peppers? Stinky fish and pepper. That is... Sure. I call this one a cod for the common cold. Oh my, that's spicy. And stinky. I'm sorry, I'll try again. No, don't you see what this means? I can smell again. Looks like your father isn't the only doctor in the family. Hello. Hey, Miss Hatch. What can I get you? Oh, I'm not terribly hungry. Something snack-sized, if you could. Okay, snack-sized. The tiny burger. And... maybe just some lettuce? I call it the novella. Lovely. Oh, that was not much dialogue there. Hello. I have a coupon here for one free burger. What'll it be? Well, I have a lot of mouths to feed, so give me the biggest burger you have. You must eat a lot, huh? You have no idea. Oh, and throw some lettuce on top. Okay, oh, that's an easy one. You're basically telling me exactly what I need for this one. Which is lavish. With... what is the lav? With lettuce. Do 5 burgers and then like 1 slice of lettuce on top. I call it the too much is never enough. This should keep them at bay. Thank you. Hello. If it isn't little Luka. Hey, Uncle Nuncreed. How come you haven't been around the house lately? Well, your dad and I had a little disagreement is all. How's he doing? Has he mentioned me? Not really. He's been busy lately. Sometimes he doesn't come home from work before bedtime. Is that so? Well, tell him I'm thinking of him. You seem sad. Nonsense. What can I get you for lunch? Fact of the matter is, I don't have much of an appetite right now. But Uncle Nuncreed, you gotta eat. I'll make you something special. That'll cheer you up. Something special? I mean, in their own way, all of these burgers are kinda special. Let's go for... succulent. And adorable. I call it... oh, the cheers looking at you, kid. One burger with a side of good vibes. Oh, Luka, you sweet boy.
Mr. Nuncreed reached down and patted Luka's shoulder with an enormous hand.
It's the only time I think the narrator is showing up in this flashback. You got a lot of your daddy in you, don't you? I guess so. Run along. I'll do my best to clean my plate. Hello. It's just in. Last chance diner overrun by gremlins. Not a gremlin. I'm Luka.
Mr. Wilder adjusted his monocle jokingly.
I stand corrected. In that case, would you believe I have a craving for a burger? You've come to the right place. Indeed. I'll have a nice juicy burger topped with onion. I like it when they give me the understandable orders. So that was just burger with onion? Hello. Here you go. I call it the Wilder. Oh, you know I love a good byline. Many thanks. Listen well, child. I'm only going to say this once. I require a well-done burger. Got it. When I say well done, I mean it. Well done. No problem. I fear you aren't grasping my request. I want the burger charred beyond recognition. I want it bitter and black. One burnt burger coming up. And top it with the most expensive thing you have. Oh, is that the lavish? Okay. So I can get that. Incendiary and lavish. May I present the row you're burnt. I like that one. I can hardly believe it. You've done well. Mrs. Fratelli had caviar stashed back there. The woman is full of surprises. Very good. This will suffice. The little carcinogen's never hurt anyone. Alrighty, is that all the burgers? Alrighty, it looks like we've got everything we need. Let's get to feeding these folks. Oh, I already fed everyone. You made all the food yourself. What on earth did you put on the burgers? I just used what was lying around. Oh dear, that can't be good. Thanks again, Luka. Best burger I ever ate. Surprisingly competent. Everyone seems happy. It's harmful for the body to eat burnt things. Yeah. You really are a remarkable boy, aren't you? Oh, there we go. All customers satisfied in the cooking minigame. Okay. But, so, I can get back to... We still need to find one more for here. But, what happens if we hum? Food safety first, kids. I mean, yeah, some of the burgers Luka was making were concerning.
And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luka had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind, the only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay.
You got a chance to watch? I did not get the chance so far, Mooney.
That melody pervaded every memory Luka had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud.
Oh, a surprise? I'll have to get around to it.
Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together.
Oh! It's just clicked with me. Yeah, that's not grandmother. I just kind of remembered how when the goo got on Beck's hair, it kind of aged her hair.
She let the torch fall to the snow and said, a few steps toward Luka was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note. in astonishment. The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Buckaroo? The only people who call me dad are my dad and your mother.
Luka blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more clearly. He could just make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother, only smaller, older, changed.
Mom? That's right, buckaroo. Mom? Oh.
Luka sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold retreated from their bodies.
Eleanor? I thought you were gone. Should have known I would never abandon my son.
Eleanor looked down at Luka, tightening her embrace in an appeal for forgiveness.
Oh. You're a smart man, Joseph. I thought you'd have pieced it together by now. It's kind of... Yeah. I kind of like, looking back, I can see the pieces were there. Like the... We saw her obituary. But my brain kind of immediately went to, like, there's obviously, like, weird things going on. Maybe it was she faked her death, or it was something to do with the towns being different. You were exposed. I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luka. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luka, but I did it to keep you safe. I thought that getting answers would help us both move on. The more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. Until Perennial Harvest was stopped, it was better if everyone thought I was gone. You could have trusted me. These are bad people, Luka. They won't stop until they get what they want. They don't care who gets hurt in the process. Then, what do? We have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now. There's a better way to stop Perennial Harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luka gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash. Oh. I get the feeling we're en route for the correct ending. Which does make me wonder if... Sorry. Which does make me wonder if this is just like to another bad end, and maybe I've just missed like an optional charm somewhere? You don't understand. He always wins.
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago,
Oh?
Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under Perennial Harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering.
Oh.
No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was
Deep
immediately
Engineering.
hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus Liquamen. There were dozens of them. Every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching.
Tempus Liquamen is the... I'm guessing that's like the weird green liquid?
She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
And that is what change is all about. Oh, okay, back to the present. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I'm tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret, and Perennial Harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You're not excused. Oh, you aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd, and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated... Mrs. Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to... You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You snivelling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. Oh. Don't you all see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Oh, don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. Why don't we pick up Bikini Bottom and push it? Yep. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Oh, well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable, so that she can get the help she needs. He's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. Oh, Mr. Nuncreed on our side? You all know there's something wrong with this town. It's just easier to look the other way. The truth is... Oh, Solomon? With slow clap. That's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
What's Solomon do? Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. Oh. Oh. Yeah, That's... sharper. If the substance can age people, yeah. Yeah, why not all to... Did they find a way to refine it? The ever-tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. Yeah, and that makes sense as well, because kind of a... He doesn't want anyone to know, so it's kind of a... Stipulate it in my will that... Oh, when I die, you have to adopt this kid into the family. I'll just inherit my own stuff again. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr? Yes, sir. It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You have done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
A founder, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant
More Tempest.
smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Oh. Work is quick. Well, it worked pretty quick when we saw it on
Gripped the crowd.
both. Yeah, both other times you've seen it, it worked like very quickly. And that was just on skin contact, not even on like actual consumption. I didn't know it would work on his clothes though.
Change.
I'm not. What? No. So you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. The festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Sharper Valentine Festival. Ooh. Wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard! Oh. Malice. Oh, I bet that goes into the other slot where we see malice in Nuncreed's eyes. I'm glad you're back so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr?
Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward! Still figured more potion would take some time. Ooh. I mean, the thing that surprises me most is that it changed his clothes. Does anyone else have something to contribute?
Helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy? I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence. Squandered. To say I am disappointed would be an understatement. But Silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse. A son who is completely hopeless. Or a daughter with such potential, who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you fail me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... It's all right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where's Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? There he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. Of course, he's the pharmacist. He was recruited to make, or at least refine the Tempest. I think you've said enough. Nonsense. The people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter. Cheer up. You are about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again, and I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of Perennial Harvest? Huh. You think that puffed-up blatherskit could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow. You've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, Thespian extraordinaire, at your service. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. Truly was the role of a lifetime. Wait, so this Bill Kerr was a Pat C the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, wants to stop this town from rising up against you. Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. The young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. Excuse me? But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do, given time. And now time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought. But well worth it.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily, as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous, a secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer.
Oop.
This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now.
So they're mining something from the source, but that's causing the cold to expand.
You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Yep. There was a malice hiding behind his eyes.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes.
It's gonna turn into Game of Thrones or Winter's Lost for you. Yep. Okay, so this is the one where we went... Yeah, where Rolo got kidnapped.
Trap ready to spring. Luka felt the weight of Nuncrete's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luka to get out of there.
I just want this to all be over. Of course. I'm sure it will all work out soon enough. I should get going. I told Roxy I'd check for Rolo at the treehouse.
He twisted free of Nuncrete's grasp.
Of course. Luka, you know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. I don't think we can, Mr. Nuncrete. You kind of had like a moment at the end there, like in the last timeline, but not in this timeline.
Jeff's hardware closed down about a year ago. The effects of the foul harvest stretched wide. When there are no crops in the field, tractors don't need fixing.
Hello. Who's this? I don't remember you. The festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now, if I were to throw a festival, it would be a thing to behold. I agree. This is all more than a little sad. It's worse than sad. It's boring. What if we did a little something to spice things up? I'm listening. You know that festival sign waiting to be unveiled? It would be a shame if someone...
Scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
Who's the other dog? Oh. Identify yourself, please. Nellie Moldwill. I work here now. I am unable to locate you on our staff roll. Oh, I don't officially start until tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done. Hold, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. Okay, so I'm guessing that Nellie doesn't know anything yet. Well, you could get a wrench to the noggin sneaking up on a guy like that. Don't scare a man while he's junking, Sonny. Evening, Jeff. Isn't it kind of late to be junking? I might as well ask the same thing of you. Find anything good? Meh. Ever since Perennial Harvest moved in, even the junk is trash. You can learn a lot about a person by looking at what they throw away. With this bunch, it's all shredded paper and coffee cups. Well, I'd better get going. I didn't see nothing if you didn't see nothing. See what? Exactly. Well, off to the treehouse. Rolo? Oh, he's not here.
Heard a long holler into the woods.
Rolo! Rolo, wherever you are, I hope you're okay.
Luka felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace.
Okay, so what happens next in this timeline?
Once again,
Oh, another
Luka
dream.
found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The sort, he plopped down cross-legged.
Okay, yeah, because Luka's dreams are consistent.
Waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luka stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket, a keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. You made me proud, Buckaroo. Luka turned to face him. Dad, what is this place? A warm grin grew across his father's face. A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together. Luka found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. Wait? For what? Another voice spoke out as Luka's doppelganger stepped forward. That's up to you. Without knowing why, Luka began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real? Luka's father bent down to smudge away a tear. Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me. Luka turned to look at the older version of himself. And you? The doppelganger choked back tears. I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone. Does that make sense? Through his tears, Luka laughed. I think so. His father pulled him in for an embrace. Time to go, Buckaroo.
Oh.
Luka was startled from his dream by a banging on the floor.
Hello? Are you in there?
A commanding voice rumbled from below.
Ooh.
Just as Luka sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open.
Oh.
Chapter 5. Dangers Big and Small. Luka stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant
Mr. Nuncreed.
Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luka froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Oh, nope. Rolo? Stop right there, or I'll... Sheesh, I know it's dark and all, but I figured you'd recognize me. Who are
The
you?
large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
Stop now or I'll clobber you with a baseball bat. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Take it easy. Luka, you need to get your eyes checked. It's me, Rolo. Nice try, but I know you aren't Rolo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Uncle? Luka, quit messing around. It's me. If it really is you, prove it. Flamin' chicken coop, Luka.
Luka's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rolo, only bigger, older, changed.
How? What happened to you? When I was running away, I ran into more people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. Where did they take you? Dunno. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold and smelled like a swimming pool. There was that smell of chlorine in the other place we went to. I think it was an underground lab or something. They made my hands all big. Look.
Rolo proudly presented his hands to Luka.
Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick for a superpower, but beggars can't be choosers. Rolo, it wasn't just your hands. My feet, too? Dang, I just made me new shoes. Wait, Luka, why are you so small?
Luka moved to the side and pointed Rolo to his reflection in the balcony window.
What the?
His hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toledo! What? Rolo, what did they do to you? They made me drink some sort of green crud. Ew. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It kind of tasted like liquor. Oh. I passed out and woke up like this. And then I sorta smashed open my cage and escaped. Oh, you smashed open a cage? Kinda. At least I think I did. It's all a bit of a blur. They had you in a cage? Who are these people? I don't know who did this to you, but we're gonna fix it. Fix it? This is awesome! Well, I'm just glad you're safe now. Luka, you don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at it this way. I got snatched. I know where snatched people go. You may finally have a lead on what happened to your family. Maybe you're right, but this all seems dangerous. Danger, huh?
Rolo shadowboxed a few jabs.
Oh. I'll take them all on. Hey, fellas. What's up?
With a yelp, Rolo dove behind Luka.
Oh! Did I come at a bad time? Who the heck are you? This is Beck. Sorry, something truly bizarre just happened and I need help. I didn't know where else to go. So, you're just hanging out here with your large adult friend? No, this is my buddy Rolo. This is your missing friend? One and the same. Would Beck say it was a bizarre adventure? It's feeling like a little bit of a bizarre adventure. I'm also just wondering, did she dye her mutated hair blue? He seems a little old. I'll have you know this is a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry. You're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So we'll be asking the questions here. That's fair. How did you find us? Your silly little treehouse? I think you mean our silly little mission control. I hate to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret. I could hear your racket from a mile away. See, Luka? This is why we need to improve security around here. Not now, Rolo. Beck, you said something bizarre happened? Yeah, but...
She shot a nervous glance at Rolo.
Anything you can say around me, you can say around Rolo. This has been a weird day all around, hasn't it? Yep.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay, so it all started when I made it back home. My first order of business was to try to salvage my hair. So I dyed it with some stuff from the chemistry set my mom gave me. Okay. Just need to play it cool and hope no one notices. Notices what? Oh, nothing. I was just... Come over here and let me have a look. Oh, honey, what in the world did you do to your hair? I just kind of felt like a change. This is going to take forever to grow out. You're the one who said the change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. Well, I guess I just took your last start.
Tried to put on...
Before I forget, I came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go into work. Tonight? Her and Mr. Care decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Care guy seems like a grade 8 creep. Beck! He is! Him and his weird cult of personality. You are not going to ruin this job for Nellie. It means too much to her. Oh, I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough to her to exile her daughter to this podunk town. This place sucks. The people are weird. You just don't know them yet. It's always cold. We're in the mountains. You'll get used to it. I can't even pick up a single decent station on the radio. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know, I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants than people? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nellie come and see what we can do about fixing your hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not another peep.
She sighed, and after a moment, looked down at Beck sympathetically.
I know moving is hard, honey. But that doesn't mean you have to make yourself miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. Oh, and if you decide to rebel by dyeing your hair more...
She flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll just shave it off for you. Think of how rebellious you'll look then. Very funny. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. Good night, Mom. Wait. First of all, this town does not suck. Second, you need help because you got grounded? No. I'm sorry you got in trouble. It's my fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it. I actually kind of like this look. Great. Can we get back to the story now? The next part is the important bit. I have this radio I upgraded with my mom, and I was too angry to sleep. So I tried to dial in something worth listening to. Oh. Oh, didn't, not Nuncreed, Tolliver get something? Yeah, he got something, like, on the radio. Mr. Care, are you there? Mr. Care? Yes, I'm busy. What is it? Apologies, I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. One moment. Hello, sir. It's so nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on our new lead researcher of deep engineering? Nellie Modwell seems to be integrating nicely. At this very moment, she's working to help us meet our deadline. She offered to work overtime before I even had the chance to suggest it. Excellent. And you have faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor. Her work must be complete before the festival. I will make sure she stays night and day until it's accomplished. Good. You know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. Once she has finished the work, we need to make a determination regarding her long-term prospects in the company. Immediately, sir. I usually have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We are in the endgame, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott, I can't afford to take any risks. Of course, sir. No loose ends, sir. Once she finishes the work, she will either leave the office completely committed to her Perennial Harvest, or she won't leave at all. Perfect. Sir, if I might suggest, maybe we should delay, just for a bit. Oh? It's just, we seem to be rushing to hit this festival deadline, and rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand that I just want what's best for you. I'm eternally grateful for all that you've done for me. Bill, I'll make this very clear for you. I brought you in to make things run smoothly, not to have opinions. Of course, sir. Chin up, Bill. You're only a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Whoa. Yeah. Just so we're clear, when they said loose ends, they were talking about murder, right? Like, actually killing someone? Capital murder.
Luka gave Rolo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who is this founder? I was hoping you guys would know. So, okay, yeah, that was something I'm kind of wondering, like, is... Like, what's going to happen to Nelly? Like, is that where the clipboards come from? Is that how they integrate employees? Nah, as far as we know, Kara's the top banana at Perennial Harvest. He sounded scared of this founder guy. So we haven't even topped her banana on the field. What the hell is my mum caught up in? Has she talked about the job much? Not really. She said she was going to come in and continue work with someone she respected. Luka, do you think that body at the warehouse was the person Beck's mum came to replace? That would make sense. Beck, it seems Nellie's predecessor got, loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. Okay, so we need to get your mum out of there before the festival happens. That's 2 days away. Won't she just come home after work? Creep on the radio said they were going to hold her there until then. So if she's not coming out, we gotta go in and get her.
Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
Maybe this'll help. You have blueprints? Well, it's really just a welcome map for my mum's PH orientation day. But it shows the layout. Sure looks like blueprints to me. Look, here's the reception area. There's a big room marked Founder's Office. It even has the exits marked. Guys! We have a deadline. We have an objective. We have blueprints. You realize what this is, right? A heist?
Rolo started to wiggle with excitement.
I think we're heisting! This is officially a heist!
Chapter 6, The Heist.
Oh.
They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of Perennial Harvest.
Okay, so I think I'll have to leave it there for tonight, because I'm kind of running out of time, and I feel that's a not bad place to... This game's got more to it than I thought it did. I imagine we are very close to the end. No, but I don't... I thought the possibility we'd be finished, like, in, like, an hour and a half. So we've gone on twice as long already as I thought we might. So I don't want to trust my assumption. So I think I might actually end up continuing this on Friday instead of doing a, like, streaming EDF or whatever else I might have felt like. Which might work as well, because I imagine I might be a little burnt out on Friday evening. So it might actually help out to do a shorter stream. But yeah, I've got at our youth group on Friday, I'm the one talking. I have to give my testimony, so I imagine it's been the first time I've been up in front of people to speak since 2019. So it's been 5 years since the last time I've had a public speaking. So yeah, I feel I might come home on Friday a little bit more burnt out. Yeah, public speaking to a group of teenagers as well, which I feel is going to be. I don't know why, but I feel a group of teenagers might be a tougher audience than adults. So yeah, it might help me out to have a shorter stream on Friday, and one as well where Beacon Pines doesn't require too much from me in terms of, like, there's not much gameplay to be involved in. I just need to be ready to read and try and figure things out, but I feel also there's not many mysteries left to solve. Cool. And if like it doesn't take long to finish up Beacon Pines, I can always still carry on and go to some EDF or something. But yeah. But that'll be what we've got for tonight. So I'll exit and go back to the standby. So, yeah, that's going to be me for tonight. I'll be back. Never say that till the final page. Yeah, well, it's kind of like, you know what loose ends are, and I feel at this stage in the game it would feel a bit odd for them to introduce new loose ends. I think the main thing I'm still curious about is what is the source? I generally like thinking back, like most of the mysteries so far that I did have been answered this stream. Like, we're getting the idea of what's going on, like we know. No, and the game kind of self-referential was kind of like, the game was like, no, we want a definitive ending, we don't want sequels. So I get the feeling that the game isn't going to go and pull that on us. It's not, I think the game itself is kind of making it clear that it wants to be self-contained. Though, I suppose the only other mystery is what happened to our father, but I imagine that's also kind of tied into the source. But yeah, we'll find out on Friday. So yeah, no stream tomorrow, but I'll be back to Subnautica on Thursday afternoon. I believe Thursday afternoon? I did say afternoon, not evening, because I know I had to change my timetable. Yeah, Thursday afternoon I will be back to Subnautica, where we have the Seamoth now. So my next plan is was to try and dive down into the Lost River. And with that said, brain, work for me. My brain is not working for me. Yeah. I guess, yeah, I'll figure out what the plan is in Subnautica when we get to it. And Friday is going to be the continuation of Beacon Pines, and depending on how I feel and how long it takes, maybe some EDF or something. Just something chill to relax in. And then, yeah, after that, that's the end of this week. But with all that said, I'll just say thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. And until the next stream, I hope you have a good evening, have a good night, and goodbye.